Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, and I'm here doing a walk around of one of my personal favorite vehicles. This is the Chrysler 300, and the reason that I like it is that it is the only remaining rear-wheel drive and V8 available car that average Americans can still buy. Of course, you can buy the same basic car under the Dodge label as the Charger. In a more sporty trim and less of a luxury trim, but fundamentally it's the same vehicle. So the Charger and the 300 are pretty much it. The cars in this class generally are front-wheel drive. Heck, generally they all are. They're front-wheel drive with this exception. And they come with V6 engines, and in case of some of them, like the Chevy Impala, a four-cylinder engine. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for the most part these days, if you want to get into a nice big full-size sedan and you want a V8 engine and you want rear-wheel drive architecture, as they say in the car business, this is it. This is the last one, last of the line, and I wonder how much longer it's going to last. 2016 may be the final year for the 300 in this particular form. God knows what they're going to do in 17, especially now that Fiat owns the company. And Fiat, of course, specializes in small cars with small engines. But the real driver behind the shift over to front-wheel drive and smaller engines is our federal government and the fuel efficiency requirements that they continue to ratchet up. And despite having variable valve timing and cylinder deactivation technology and all of that, there really is only so much that you can do with a V8 gas mileage-wise. You certainly aren't going to get it up to 35.5 miles per gallon average in a 4,000-pound car like the 300. And regardless of how you feel about fuel economy, to me the question is whether it should be up to the person who's buying the car to worry about that, or whether that's the federal government's proper business. But end of rant. Anyway, you may notice the really long wheelbase on this sucker. Take a look at that. The distance between the front wheel and the rear wheel center lines, it's about 120 inches. That is nearly 10 inches more than any other car in this class. To get something that's comparable to that, you have to move up to something like a BMW 7, and to get something with a longer wheelbase in a car, you pretty much have to go up to something like a Mercedes S-Class. And that, of course, is a six-figure car. And this thing, fully decked out, if you order the anniversary package, the Hemi engine, all the good stuff, the dual-pane sunroof, the heated and cooled cup holders, the 19-speaker stereo system, etc., etc., it's pretty hard to get much over 50,000 bucks on this thing. So it's a real steal of a deal. Let's have a look at the inside. Love these nice big back seats, lots of room, very comfortable. In both rows in this car, you got a ton of shoulder room because the 300 is a nice wide car. It's actually about 2 inches wider than the typical car in this class. So you get a lot of shoulder room, you get a lot of leg room, you get a lot of headroom. It's basically built the way they used to build them. I'm a Gen X guy, so you know, when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, big cars, rear-wheel drive V8 engines, that was the rule rather than the exception as it is today. Let's have a look at the inside. This particular one is the C, so it has this rotary dial gear selector. It doesn't have a manual mode, doesn't have the paddle shifters. If you want that, you can dial up the S, get the S model, and it does have those things. They all come standard with an 8-speed automatic now.
Can you make this
Let me turn that down. Also, they have this really nice 8.4-inch touch screen, which is the biggest in the class. Most of the other cars in the class, including the Chevy Impala, which I like, and also the Toyota Avalon, have significantly smaller screens. In the case of the Impala, it's only something like a 4.1-inch screen, so it's about half the size of this. Really nice, really easy to use. I love the cool blue backlit instrument cluster. Just a really attractive, comfortable, super quiet car. And I like the fact that, notwithstanding that, like any modern car, it's got a lot of electronics, it's still a relatively simple and straightforward car. The V6, the V8, neither of them have turbos or any other particularly elaborate over-the-top technology that would make me just feel a little bit hinky about what's going to happen when the warranty runs out. A lot of cars these days are coming with turbos and various other things, which may be fine. What do I know? It'll take, 10 or 15 years down the road for us to really know how well those things hold up. But I'm pretty conservative, and I'd rather go ahead and get the big V6 or, better yet, the big V8, even if it does suck a little more gas. Right now gas is cheap, and who knows, it might stay cheap. Anyway, the full review is up at epautos.com, and also I'm about to upload a couple of new Clover videos for your amusement. So thanks for viewing, and hope to stop by the site and leave your comments, and we'll catch up with you next time.